What's going on, everybody? And welcome to another episode of You Ain't Got a Lot podcast. I'm your co-host, Two Way with Jason, aka JSHD. And who am I with today?
It's your boy F Money and Money for short. How's everybody doing today?
And before we hop into this one, because this one may actually be a little short, depending on what we got to say about some of these topics. But before we hop into it, so if you're new here, please like, please share, please subscribe. We talk about sports, we talk about things going on in the world, and we talk a little shit to each other, depending on what we're talking about. But before we get into these topics today, any charitable events you want to talk about, Money?
Nah, not right now. Maybe in the future. My future endeavors.
In the future. All right. So the topics we got on tap for you guys today, we're going to talk about sitcoms. Why have sitcoms died? I feel like sitcoms aren't as prominent as they used to be. And me and Money are going to talk about some questions of why that may be and what could change it. And can they make a comeback? Then that's going to lead us into the NFL offseason. My Carolina Panthers have they're being disrespected. That's how we're going to say it. Well, they're being disrespected. So we're going to talk about them. And then our last topic is NBA buzz. There's some things going on that me and Money have to talk about, especially pertaining to his Miami Heat and my Orlando Magic. So without further ado, our first topic.
I'm setting it up real quick. Let's go,
Oh
baby.
goodness.
Let's go. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go.
What are you doing? Oh, you got them preset now? Look at you learning how to use the software. Why aren't sitcoms as popular now? So you want me to take the lead on this, Money? Or you
Go
got
ahead.
it?
Take it depends what you want. You want me to spit the truth or you want to go first? Because you know I'm gonna be a hard act to follow. If I go.
Go ahead and say what you gotta say there.
I would say the reason why sitcoms aren't as popular nowadays as back in the day, because they don't have that same as they used to. I'll say the sitcoms nowadays, I'm gonna talk about two. Uh, One of your favorite ones was Blackish, which it just it just don't hit the same as all the other ones. That's my main thing with that one. And then let's see, I'll say with another one that we can really talk about is I'll say there's been a few around here and there, like Malcolm in the Middle was an old time favorite. I'll say we had the Fresh Prince that was fire. Everybody loved that one. They don't have that, the same. I'll say the same viewership is the main thing I would say. Because I'll say we talk about the pop, the sitcoms, we talk about Fresh Prince, we talk about Martin, we talk about, heck, they even had That's So Raven. Everyone hates Chris. Some of those shows. And I think there was so much better. It seemed like the artists were more creative. Like with That's So Raven, they would show all the flashbacks. With Fresh Prince, they had all the funny comic, comic things that they would do. Heck, with Martin, you will always laugh. They would have also the Wayne's brothers. That one was one of my favorites. So I'll say they're not as popular because they don't have the same writers. They don't have the same actors. They don't have the same crowd because they're trying to cater to the younger crowd nowadays. Unlike us when we were kids.
I mean, I see what you're going with that. They don't have, for my opinion, they don't have that lovable character, Like some of the most popular sitcoms when we were growing up, it was always a character on the show that was lovable. You know what I'm saying? So going to Martin. Tisha Campbell was lovable playing Martin's girlfriend. I think she is one of the most underrated female actresses out for the simple fact of she was in the Martin as Gina, sensational job, and then she did My Wife and Kids. And not once did I feel like she's playing the same character. I thought she did a great job playing Gina, and then I thought she did another great job playing Jay. Felt like two different characters, and it's the same woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like her and Damon Wayne, they played off each other so well. They really made it believable. Like it got to the point to where a young me thought like, oh, they got a great marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like they ain't acted. They really are married, you know? So, and I think we don't have that same thing. I don't think we have those lovable characters. Like you mentioned Malcolm in the Middle. Malcolm, the guy playing Malcolm was a lovable character. You know, look at all some of my favorite sitcoms. It was always a lovable character on there. Family Matters.
Boy Meets World.
Steve Urkel. Boy Meets World. Topanga. Who did love Topanga? Black and white little boys love Topanga. You know what I'm saying? It was always a lovable character on these shows growing up. And I think that's one of the biggest impact. And so, especially with back in the day, another thing too is we're built on routine. Some of the shows were is every Monday at 8 p.m., same time every week on the couch with the same characters, and it felt like you're visiting friends because, like I said, those characters were so lovable and it was so personal because a lot of them deal with real life situations to make you feel a part of it. So now we live in a binge first in a scroll fast world. People don't want to wait weekly; they want to devour a season in the weekend. And the attention spans have been sliced in half due to, you know, TikTok size pieces and things like that going on. And studios events are no longer a big thing. You remember how it used to always be recorded in front of a live studio audience. That's not a thing anymore. You know what I'm saying? Now it's more about drama and thrillers and documentaries. All these new TV series, they are hour longs, man. Sitcoms back in the day were 20, 30 minutes max. You got to enjoy it. You got a couple laughs. And then you went on about your day. But now these shows, they so much. And then it's like, just when you about to be like, all right, well, that was an interesting episode. They do something at the end. You're like, I got to see what's going on next. I can't wait till tomorrow. I have to see what's going on next. And so now you've been at this on your couch for 4 hours binge watching, and you've only watched 4 episodes out of the 8. And another thing too is the climate we in, money. I don't know if you know this, but people are really sensitive.
I was about to say that. You can't make the same jokes.
You can't make the same joke. Humor has changed significantly. So sitcoms that used to be, you know, broad, loose, and safe, today's audience will either be super edgy, super real, super niche, or, you know, hella offended. It's just bad. Because if you watch some of the jokes they made back in the day, and it's like, oh, that was funny. Nowadays, it's, oh, I'm offended. And it's bad, man. It's bad. And
even
streaming
cartoons.
platforms, they care about things like retention metrics, global appeal, and binge value. You know what I'm saying? Some of the sitcoms, like a sitcom, oh man, I just lost the name of it.
A current one?
Huh?
A current one?
No, an old one. An old sitcom. Love and I forget it, man. The Bundys. Al Bundy and all of them. I forget what that show was called. But the one that had the Bundys on it, that show was very popular in America. I don't think it'll be as popular in Europe. You know what I'm saying? But back then, Americans tuned in. They knew every Tuesday at 9 o'clock, they're going to see a brand new episode, opposed to now, not so much. And then the rise of these other countries putting on their stuff on display, like some of my favorite shows more recently, honestly, are Korean or Japanese. They have been doing exceptional jobs with their production, putting on great shows from Squid Games, from one of your favorites, Alice in Borderland, The 8 Show. I love The 8 Show. And it was just so many things that they're doing over there that it's like, you got to tune in. And a sitcom ain't going to touch the world nationally. Ain't going to touch the world globally. So I get all that.
Remember, they tried to remake Bel Air.
Yeah, they made it into a drama. Some people liked it.
Did you even watch it? Because
no,
after I heard different things regarding it, I couldn't even check it out. Because I'm like, you're trying to remake a classic that was so great.
Yeah, they brought it back and they made it into a drama, and I was going to check it out, but it was just like when I heard they made it into a drama, I was just like, is that something I really want to watch? Like one of the more powerful scenes that really hit home with me because I grew up without a father was Will Smith and his pops basically making him feel like he didn't be wanted. And that, like, I was boohoo crying because that was me. You know what I'm saying? I felt like my pops didn't want me. And so it was really relatable. So it's like, man, how are you going to recreate that scene? And I heard they did a good job.
I heard it was one take.
Yeah, I
Uh,
heard it was improv too. So I did hear it was good when that did come about, but I don't know. It's just certain things. It's just like, why mess with perfection, you know? So and then, but then again, we see it all the time. You know, some certain movies that are remade, and people don't even know they're remakes. Some people be like, "Oh man, I love this movie," and it's like, you know, it's a remake from like the 50s, right, or the 60s. Like,
Alice in Borderland, Jay, is
mhm.
actually an anime.
Yeah,
TJ told me
you
that.
told me that,
Yeah,
and
I couldn't even
so
believe that.
like the first one that pops into my head is you remember that Adam Sandler movie where he was in jail and he played football? I can't think of the name.
Yeah,
Sorry, people, I'm terrible with names. Everybody,
I remember that movie.
that's a
They played
remake.
Sandlot football.
Yeah, they're in prison
Yeah.
and they played the
Oh,
guard.
longest
Yeah,
yard. Longest yard.
Longest yard is a remake. Some of these movies you never thought was a remake or remakes. So I think that plays a part as well. But I don't know, man. I think that's the biggest thing. So another thing is certain now they are trying to make a comeback with shows like Abbott Elementary, Atlanta, sort of kinda, because Atlanta isn't a sitcom. It has like the setup of a sitcom because like it'll be times where they'll break the fourth wall and you'll see like uh Danny Glover, he'll like look at the camera like, "Are you serious right now? Do y'all see this?" But it wasn't a sitcom. It was like I don't know how to describe that show, but it has sitcom elements to it. Modern Family, and that was basically the beginning of them reinventing the format of sitcoms. And Ted Lasso is another popular one. And the funny thing about all these shows I've named, Money, none of these shows have ever drawn me to watch them because none of the characters made me be like, "Oh, I gotta check it out for this person." And I'm a huge fan of Danny Glover musically. The guy who plays Everybody Hates Chris, he's Chris to me. I can't see him in any other
Yes.
role. So, and I heard he does a good job in that show, but he's Chris. I can't see him as anyone else. Same with Urkel. That's why Urkel never really got too many roles. Jaleel White, because everyone sees him as Urkel. You know how many people probably don't even know his real name is Jaleel White? So, those lovable characters, and that's the thing too when you're in these roles. These lovable characters can really alter your career. The guy who
Same
played
as
Napoleon Dynamite has rarely been casted because everyone sees him as Napoleon Dynamite.
same as Topanga. Everybody think
Same
her
as
as
Topanga.
Topanga. Same thing as the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. You think of them as Zach and Cody. You don't think of them
Yeah.
as
So
their
and it's funny
names.
too because these shows have opened the doors to other actors. Like some of these actors have went on to do great things. Like Will Smith, he did The Fresh Prince of Bel Air, but he also went on to do some great movies. Independence Day. Some people like I Am Legend. I think that's one of the worst films ever. Another popular one
Hitch.
was Men in Black. I think Men in Black is one of the best movie series out. You know, so it's just he went on to be super successful. The dude Alfonso who played Carlton, he wasn't really in too many things. He was labeled as Carlton. So unfortunately, sometimes you land these big roles for you at the time, and that alters your trajectory and your career as far as acting. Like you made us fall in love with you, but you can't go nowhere without people saying, "Do the Carlton, do the Carlton." And this man's 50 years old.
Hey, Carlton had that fire polo though. Dudes were like, man, Carlton had that polo on him, bro.
Of course, of course. So, could they make a comeback?
I
What do
don't
you
think
think, Money?
so.
You
I
don't
don't
think
think
so?
so. Because here's the thing. Everybody's all about, these TV series. Like an example would be, I know a lot of people haven't seen it, but One Piece, the live action. I think that the live action is for everybody who doesn't want to watch 1,000 episodes to see the whole manga. You got Lincoln Lawyer, which is another series, and people binge watch these series. Like
Yeah.
nobody wants to wait. Hey, Monday at 3:30. Same thing is with the All American. They were like they had a certain time zone, but it never was really a sitcom to me. It was more of a TV series. So everything now is more TV series based than instead of sitcoms.
Yeah, I think in order for them to make a comeback, like I was saying earlier, they got to reinvent themselves. So one thing off the back, some of the older sitcoms, man, like perfect example is Jamie Foxx. So did you know the Jamie Foxx show had like 5 or 6 seasons, and each season had like 40 some odd episodes.
Wow, I didn't even know
Yeah.
that.
So, and I used to remember as a kid watching some of the reruns, and it'll be like I would see Jamie trying to woo Fancy, and then the next episode, him and Fancy married and they living together. I'm like, wait a minute, we just
How about you
what just
skipped?
happened? What just happened? So I think first and foremost, you got to shorten the seasons. You know what I'm saying? What like we touched on earlier, the attention span. Sadly, this younger generation has the attention span of a mule. So we got to shorten these seasons. We need more character depth. You know, like we want to know more about them. We want to know about why they missing third period. Don't make me wait 6 episodes into season 3. Then we like, oh, that's why he's like that, because he killed his mom. Like, get that to us earlier. And if you're not going to give us the answer, start giving us clues to make us guess. Like, I wonder why he's doing that. Why is he always going to that basement? Why won't he let anyone in the basement? Increase that curiosity. But another one is, as much as I appreciated them, and I feel like they worked back in the day, I feel like in modern times, having a live studio audience or a laugh track, it ain't gonna hit the same. Because like the younger generation gonna be like, why is that laugh? Are they telling me when to laugh? Don't tell me when to laugh. And it'll be too much. And so then you gotta have like a hybrid where you can have a drama and a comedy combined with a little sprinkle of realism to make like this own unique product. So the sitcoms have to grow up. Like you said earlier, the humor is not going to be the same as it was when we were younger. Because there was plenty of times we were watching where it's a joke you and I didn't get as a kid, and then we watch it again as an adult. We're like, oh, we get it now, you know. So I think that will be the only hope of it making a comeback. So since you said no, you don't believe they can make a comeback, do you believe all the good ideas have been used?
I don't. I think it has to take a certain type of person to be able to make the sitcoms have a comeback. Like even with The Office was a sitcom, but they made a remake of the show called The Paper. I haven't heard anybody talking about The Paper at all. You get what I'm saying? So it's like it's so many of these good sitcoms that were great, but we don't hear nobody talking about the new ones. Like, you know, all these different shows like Bel Air, I take was a sitcom, even though I had episodes. You know, like I talked about earlier, The Paper. All these different things don't have the same, you know, flash as they used to. And I'll say, is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? No, because everybody cares about these TV series.
Yeah. You just gotta find a way, like I said, to recreate those lovable characters. And it's not easy. It's not easy, but at the same time, though, making a great product, if you can create it and capture that attention span and keep it into a 30-minute or 25-minute episode to where people are like, what you doing, man? I gotta see a new episode of so and so, man. Because that's how it was when we were kids. We'll be out with our little Casio watches or G-Shocks or whatever you had back then. What time is it, man? I gotta get home, man. Cousin Skeeter come on in 10 minutes. Like, we were not missing that, dog. Like, it was such a big. Well, hold on. What? Hey, I gotta go, fellas. The new Little Romeo show coming on. I gotta see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a big deal. And if you missed it and you go to school the next day, did you see what happened to Cousin Skeeter? Man, Cousin Skeeter was out there boxing. What? I missed that? Oh, man. Don't want to be that guy.
I agree with you. You don't want to be that guy. And it was exciting. It seemed like the reason why I say we have to look at the landscape, right? People don't even go outside or talk to people nowadays. That's that's the landscape. Like somebody was showing, you know, what the schools looked like in the 90s and, you know, the early 2000s and stuff like that. And, you know, people would actually talk to each other. And now everybody's on their phone and iPad the whole time. Don't want to speak to nobody. You know, no communication. I'll say a lot of that.
I think that's so weird too. Like, since you brought that up, I think anyone who's like that, they should seek professional help. Like, if I'm walking down the sidewalk, you walk down the sidewalk and I say good morning, and you can't say good morning back, or their thought process is, why is he speaking to me? All I said was good morning. And if someone's saying good morning to you, makes your skin crawl. Like one thing, so you got me on a tangent now. One thing that always bothers me is when I be seeing them girls on social media, they be like, oh, there ain't no good man left. All the good men died, chivalry's dead, and this, that, and the third. And then after they post that, the next post will be some dude approached me and asked me how I'm doing at the gym, made my skin crawl. So you don't want a man to approach you, but then you're saying there's no good man left. So what do you want to do? Kidnap you? Lock you in the basement, then have you perform Stockholm syndrome? Like, what are we doing?
You
So
want me
I
to
don't
answer
know.
that
I just think
topic
the
to
whole
you?
thing is insane, huh?
I think to go back with what you were saying, they didn't find a guy attractive. It's the main thing. Why they say, "Oh, he made my skin crawl." It's like, and then they had an excuse. Oh, no good man. Maybe your type hasn't been working. That's why everything hasn't worked out so far.
I mean, yeah. Some people are picky, and they we got people with 3 kids and 3 baby daddies being picky. You gotta lower them standards, boo. But that's another conversation for another day. You ready for our next topic, Money?
Yes. Let me get this going for you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about some NFL off-season moves. Actually, I don't think it's really any moves worth mentioning. But one thing I wanted to address that really grinded my gears and had me having a whole attitude. My Carolina Panthers have 0 primetime games next season. What are your thoughts on Money before I go on my tangent?
You're talking about even the Dolphins had a primetime game, and the Jets probably had one too. And it's like
The 2 worst teams in the NFL next season have
yes.
primetime games.
I'm like, that don't make any sense because I don't expect us to be really good. We basically got rid of Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Tua. We might get rid of Achan and maybe Brooks. So it's like, who do we have? What are y'all trying to watch for? You're trying to see if Malik Willis can scramble for 100 yards and throw to himself the whole game?
It's gonna be the tank off, bro. Who can take harder, the Jets, the Steelers, or the Dolphins? All of y'all gonna be in an Arch Manning sweepstakes. Who will come in first?
No, we ain't in the Arch Manning sweepstakes. We in Jeremiah Smith.
Jeremiah says, "Oh yeah, oh so I forget. I be forgetting. Money really wants Malik Willis to look good this year, so his team doesn't start over and draft a quarterback. And since if Malik looks like a competent quarterback, they'll take Jeremiah Smith. That's Money's hopes and dreams. So he really is rooting for Malik Willis. Could you fathom cutting 2 quarterbacks back to back? Because you're still paying Tua next year when you should have took your medicine this year after you cut them. You should have took your medicine this year. Could you imagine you still paying Tua's contract next year and then you 86 Malik? And so now you paying 2 big quarterback. Now you're a clown show. If y'all cut Malik Willis this time next year, Miami Dolphins is officially a clown show.
We don't have to cut him. He only has a 3-year deal. If you think about it,
you can't pay this man $30 million to be a backup quarterback.
He only has 3 years. Here's what would happen, right? He would sit on the bench the next 2 years, and we would say, hey, or he would start, and we would have our young quarterback, do his thing. That's how it would happen.
No one's paying $30 million for a backup quarterback. Maybe in 2055, backup quarterbacks will make that much money, but no one's paying $30 million to a backup quarterback. Because if you draft a quarterback in the top 3, do you want me to tell you who your starter is going to be? Either that kid going top 3 or Malik. It's going to be that kid who went top 3. Maybe not week 1, maybe not week 2, but by the end of the season, that kid who went top 3 is going to be starting.
I agree. That's why they say there's a rumor that the Dolphins are also trying to get another first-round pick for next year just in case the Malik Willis experience doesn't happen. But I'm like, we got too many holes to be like, hey, let's pay a quarterback. We paying 2 doggone quarterbacks, and let's go draft another one. Like
I already told y'all, just go get AJ Brown and be done. He want to be the number 1. He's the number 1. Malik got one person to throw to, and that's him. So he can enjoy those double and triple teams.
Who are we going to throw to again? Triple team, the whole team on them. Hey, you know what? Just guard AJ Brown. Let old buddy get wide open. Oh, and Malik goes deep to I don't even know the dude's name, but he's wide open and he drops it. Could you imagine?
So back to the topic at hand. We don't have any primetime games, and I don't like that at all. That really pissed me off for the simple fact of we made the playoffs. Granted, it was on a technicality, but we made the playoffs. So what are we doing? We're not a rebuild team anymore. We're not a bottom feeder. We literally were in the postseason. You're telling me a playoff team isn't worth one national spotlight game? Meanwhile, we got 3 teams marching for Arch, and they get a primetime game?
We can't take no more, Jay.
Huh?
We can't take no more, Jay.
Like, what are we talking about? And we beat legitimate teams like the Rams. Did we forget that we beat the Rams? And then we almost beat them in the playoffs? Come on now. And it's like we didn't think we beat real teams. I don't understand that at all. And our team is trending up. We're not stuck like at first. Bryce Young has showed improvement each year. We have a stability at coach. Our team chemistry is improving.
And you should be the best team in your division.
Exactly. We're more than likely going to be the best team in our division. All the other teams just got weaker. I know it's a Saints fan that I follow because he does great content, but he believes that the Saints are going to be better, but I don't. I think Carolina's going to be the very clear best team in the NFC South. Did we forget Bryce Young was a former number 1 pick? When do we not talk about Baker Mayfield was a first-round pick, and we still talk about him, and he's 47, money. So why are we acting like Bryce Young is, he's just some random?
And y'all got Tech, who looks like an up-and-coming star.
Yes, we went out and got a legit number 1 receiver. Bryce he has breakout season written all over him next year, bro. He has 2 years under his belt in the system. He has his number 1 receiver going into year 2. He has Xavier Legette going into year 3. Hopefully he finally figures out. I'm kind of hoping we go get us a tight end, the Sadiq kid from Oregon. I like him a lot, but that's a different conversation.
What pick do y'all have?
We pick 9. No, we don't pick 9. We pick 19.
There's a chance because
there's a chance he could be there. Absolutely.
You know what's crazy? Dolphins fans are like, well, why would we take a tight end? We like Greg Dulcich. I'm like, Greg Dulcich was a 2nd-round pick and bounced around teams. Yeah, he looked good last year, but you have a freaking nature athlete on the board, and y'all are like, oh nah, we're gonna pass on him. For what? We need somebody to sell jerseys in Miami.
And it's get them. I just don't understand them not wanting to showcase the number 1 pick who's finally looking good at football. They want to show the lowlights, but they don't want to show them finally ascending. And last but not least, our defense has gotten better every year. We went from a terrible defense to last year. We signed Trayvon Moehrig, who was the number 1 safety out there. Brought in Jack Jones. I mean, not Jack Jones. Yeah, Jack. What's his name? I want to say, Jack Jones, who was one of our better corners alongside J.C. Horn. And this year, we brought in Jalen Phillips. We did overpay for him, but he's a legitimate edge rusher. He proved that last year with Philly. And Devin Lloyd, who's one of the smartest linebackers in the league. We keep building upon what's supposed to be a weakness. And I think in the draft, we're going to keep building upon it by going to get another defensive player to add to that team. And we don't deserve one primetime game?
Y'all would get one. Y'all would get one in the playoffs.
You know what's going to happen? We're going to start the season off. 6-2. And then they're going to be like, oh, man, we gotta move some stuff around for this. No, keep sleeping on us. Keep saying we got a fluke record. The next thing you know, you're going to see the Carolina Panthers as the home team in the playoffs.
But that's great, Jay. Like, that's great. I would rather be underrated than overrated, to be real with you. I want team. It's better to have teams sleep on you than know Hey, Hugh, that dude.
Yeah, they're gonna sleep and it's gonna be too late. Next thing you know, we're gonna be 11-2, 11-4. So hey, I'm looking forward to it. We definitely gonna. I thought we had last year was gonna be our year. We had a better year than I thought. We definitely missed some opportunities, but I think those missed opportunities this year is gonna be completely different.
Okay, so let's talk about your division rivals, right? The Bucks got a lot weaker. They lost Mike Evans. The Saints are the Saints.
Yes.
And then the
Have no
Falcons.
salary cap. They keep borrowing
Yes.
for next year. We've already did this tangent. If you guys don't know, I won this whole thing about how the Saints GM should be fired yesterday. Okay. I don't know, he's had this job for what, 10 years, money, 15 years?
I have no idea, but that guy.
It's a long time, and the Saints are in salary cap hell.
You don't want that guy to borrow money from
you. So yeah, so they are a horribly ran organization.
Let's talk about the Falcons.
The Falcons.
2 injury-prone quarterbacks. One of them gonna have to make it. Well, hey, Jay, this is the injury report. Well, Tua is out for 5 games. Michael Penix is starting. Tua just came back. Michael Penix is out for 5 games.
Yeah, so I'm not worried about them at all. Obviously, they got good skill positions. They got Drake London, who is slowly becoming a top 10 receiver. They got Kyle Pitts, who I guess is figuring it out. He had a better year last year. I still don't think he's that good, but I will give him his props. He had a better year last year. He finished last season very strong. At the end of last season, he finished very strong. And Bijan Robinson is a dog. I mean, we can't deny it. He's a stud. He looked questionable his rookie year, but ever since then, he's been legit. So they have pieces, but they don't have the most important piece. So I'm not worried about any of those teams.
I'm going to say this. Make sure in fantasy football you don't draft the wrong Robinson on the Falcons.
No, I mean,
could you imagine, bro? You got the number 1 pick.
Fantasy football, the draft is online. They have the names of the players who are projected to go early. They're not going to have Robinson Jr. at the top of the list.
No, but could you imagine you that dude? You got the number 1 pick. You went to running back. You tight end Robinson, and you draft the wrong one for the Falcons.
That's you, bro. They got the picture up there. You got to pay attention. I know some people you just got to pull the names, and it's like that makes more sense. But it's online now, so you don't see that picture. That's not Bijan Robinson in that corner, and you just click it anyway. That's on you. But that's all I got, man. Anything else in the offseason going on you want to talk about?
I'll say one more. We had a dude take Tom Brady with number 1 pick, so that
tells y'all you need to know. And then immediately after the draft, try to offer him off for like 4 of your best players. Insane.
No, I like this segment, man. This might be a shorter show for us.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we were running through them, yeah. So the last
recorded yesterday.
Of the day, the NFL and the NBA buzz. So I didn't want to talk about it, but we kind of got to talk about it. The momentum flip for my Orlando Magic. We were rolling. Won 7 straight. We're in 5th place in the East, pushing for 4th to get the Cavs, and then the bottom fell out. That's
the story of both our teams.
The bottom fell out. We lost 6 in a row. We finally stopped the beating by beating the Kings last night in overtime, I believe.
Hold on, the Kings? Y'all, that was that close with the Kings, man? You know them dudes?
It was 117 to 120, bro.
Them dudes tanking.
We beat and we beat them in overtime. So I mean, man, it just went from good vibes to now we're back in the play-in, man. And some of the losses, too, were heartbreaking. Like, we lost by 2 to the Pacers, a bad team. We lost by 5 to the Cavs, a team that I don't think is very good, who have more recently not been playing that well. In other games, we've lost by 1 or 2 possessions. So, yeah. So, it's not like we're getting cooked. We just can't close. That's our big thing. Late game execution, clutch defense, and shot selection has been questionable down the stretch. Like, I seen one. We got the ball off a missed layup. Paolo comes down, kicks to the corner. The dude catches it in the corner and shoots a fading 3 out of bounds for no reason with 20 seconds into the shot clock. I'm like, this is why we're losing. This is why we're losing. It was another time. Paolo gets the ball, come down with 25 seconds on the shot clock. Pull up from I want to say, what was it? I want to say about 22 mid-range from the free throw line over 3 people, clank. It's like, what are we doing, fellas? So that's a big thing. And overall, our defense fell apart in these games. Like, I thought it was bad before, but these last stretch have been horrendous. We gave up 130 to the Hornets. Okay. 136 to the Cavs. And this is the icing. Like, this is the one that broke my heart, and I really lost a lot of confidence in this team. The Pacers have you very clearly said one of the tankers, right?
Yes.
Money. They were on a 16-game losing streak. Them boys put up 128 on us. And I don't know, man. Coach Mosley, if his seat ain't on fire, then I don't know. And then there's rumors coming out of the locker room that him and Paolo ain't getting along. And you know who they're going to side with if that's the case. They're going to always side with the player. So once the energy gets weird, it's all over. So if we're a bad team, or if we miss the playoffs, or if we get knocked down the play-in, Mosley's going. People been already calling for his job. He'll be going. And then when games slow down, our half-court offense struggles. It's like it's no ball movement. People are standing around. And against a decent defense, it shows. So we can't grind it out. Our half-court, we need to be better in the half-court setting. Obviously, we have a young team, so we can get out and run. We're a good fast break team. But when it gets to a point where it's like, all right, let's get into our sets. Let's run the plays. Let's run some type of get the offense flowing. That's where our team struggle. And then Jalen Suggs has been out recently again, too. So we're back to missing guys that are key contributors, which hurts the defense. Oh, man, the season's coming to an end. And so ultimately, am I worried about my Orlando Magic? Kind of. I'm kind of worried. Hey, Grace. But I'm definitely getting to that point. It's like, man. It's like, do I want us to miss the playoffs so we can get in the lottery and potentially get one of these kids who are supposed to be sensational?
Probably.
It's tough. What are your thoughts on my Orlando Magic?
Well, when I'm listening to you talk about the Magic, besides the Hornets, all those teams have been really bad because, well, the Cavs are okay, but they're not dominant. But the Hornets have been really good, even though they're the ninth seed. So I'm like, besides them, it's like, come on, man, y'all can't lose. Y'all can't be, struggling against the Pacers. And while you're talking about that, about your Magic, I'm thinking about, dang, the Heat been struggling too. Both of the Florida teams are struggling. And I'm like,
we were 4-5, money. I want to say like a week or two ago.
5 and 6.
Yeah, right. We were 5 and 6. Correct. We were 5 and 6. We were out of the play-in. I'm like, bro, we did it. We're doing it. Bam had his 83-point game. So it's like, bro, we are legit teams. And then the bottom fell out. So tell us about your Miami Heat, money.
I'm gonna say, like how you had a heartbreaking loss, we did too. We're playing Houston, 122 to 121. KD takes a jumper and misses. Mm-hmm. Somebody doesn't box out, and Thompson gets the tip in for the game. Bam had 30 and 20.
Love to see it.
Another game, we played the Lakers. Luka went nuclear, had 60.
I saw the highlights from that game. They started calling Nuka Johnsons. I'm like, he definitely went nuclear.
I'm like, what can we do? The dude has it. Like, I'm gonna just say this. Since we're talking about the NBA, I understand the Mavericks got Cooper, Flag, but I don't think he's gonna become a Luka. I'm gonna just be real with you.
I mean, it's so hard to say, bro. Another thing too that Luka has the advantage. These European kids, they come over, they're more NBA ready than our American kids because they're one and done in college, opposed to these European kids. They've been playing professional basketball since they were 13, 14. A lot of people don't remember this. Only people who really know ball remember this. You remember when Russell Westbrook was at the peak of his powers, Mr. Triple Double himself, MVP Russell?
Yes.
He got to play against a young 16-year-old Luka Doncic. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah. All these exhibition games. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a preseason exhibition game, and for the people who don't know, the NBA tends to play overseas teams, some of these overseas professional teams in the preseason as exhibition games. And young Luka was on one of them teams, and Russ was giving him buckets. But you got to think, if you're 16-year-old in the game against the guy who's the top of the league, that's only going to make you better, man. And so fast forward to him getting drafted, and then early on, some guys, a lot of American kids, they'll start to pop year 2 or 3 unless they're just generational. And unfortunately, it's been a while since we had a generational American. And so they'll pop early on, and then the guys who come over, they pop immediately. Wemby popped immediately. Luka popped immediately. Do I need to continue?
The Joker took a little bit though, and so did Giannis.
Maybe a year or two for Jokic, but you saw early on the potential in him. Giannis was the only one that was like, okay, maybe. He was a scrawny kid, and he got in the gym, and he worked on his craft, and then obviously became the dominant player we see today. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it's still early. I don't want to count the kid out, but it's such a high level, a high standard of hoops that you're telling me that you expect this kid to reach. And I mean, one, I don't think that's fair to him to try to follow in the shoes of Luka. And two, you would just hope he'll be a more balanced player. As if I was a Dallas Mavericks fan, I would want him to be more balanced because we know Luka can give us 30, but Luka's also going to give us 45. He's not going to play defense. He's a traffic cone. We all know that. So Cooper, on the other hand, Cooper plays defense. He plays both ends of the floor. So I think if he can become, if not the best two-way player in the league, a top 3 two-way player, I would take that as a Dallas Mavericks fan.
For him to become the best two-way player in the league, we're talking about Jaylen Brown retiring.
I mean, Jalen's not getting younger, to be fair. And Cooper's in his rookie year. So I think it will be on board.
Here's something we got to talk about for everybody. So we talk about the face of the NBA. We've had Kobe, MJ, LeBron. They usually try to do an American player. Who can we name will be the face because they don't like Jaylen Brown? Are they going to? You think AE? You know, Ant-Man?
He has the personality. He obviously has the highlights, the play style. You know, he's super athletic. Yeah, it has to be Anthony Edwards. Because anyone else, even if we try to go foreign, they don't got the personality.
Let me ask you this: even though
Jokic don't even like basketball.
What about even though he has that personal life? My main thing about Ant-Man is his personal life. Is the NBA gonna support him with his personal life stuff?
I mean, we're talking about basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he has the personality. He's super entertaining. He has the athleticism. You know, we Americans, we love to see somebody get dunked on. How many times we seen Ant dunk on somebody? You know,
too many.
In certain circles, it was supposed to be Ja Morant.
Yes.
Certain people wanted it to be Josh. A couple other people wanted it to be Zion until he let his love for food take over his life and not stop caring about basketball, only cared about food and porn stars. But different conversation for a different day.
Matter of fact, we have to talk about Ja Morant. You heard the NBA
Miami Heat point guard?
You heard the NBA trying to come out with are they coming out with future tanking rules and stuff? Like, come on, man. If a team ain't good, they ain't good. Like, why are we coming out with tanking rules? Oh, well, you only can be in the lottery 2 years in a row. Like,
because you got to combat it, money. We want to see competitive basketball. If you're playing and your team is trying and you just aren't good enough, then you aren't good enough. But when you're intentionally bitching your best players to start the second half in a winnable game, it's unacceptable. It's piss poor.
Oh, I agree. That's different, but I think they're going to make it, you only can be in the lottery this many times. And it's like, there's some teams that's just not good. They don't have talent.
I don't know. I mean, it's tough too. And then I heard people have been complaining about the 65 game minimum rule, which I get it because originally I loved the idea. And now I'm seeing the kind of recourse from it. Like Cade Cunningham should be all NBA, but because he's the punctured lung, he's probably not going to reach the 65 game minimum and he's not going to be eligible. So someone's recommended, I'm not gonna steal this idea. Someone recommended that Adam Silver make it a year-to-year exception where, hey, you had a legit injury, we'll bypass it. Now, granted, it's the NBA, it's a professional league. We're gonna have injuries to major players every year. So I guess that could be, exhausting as the commissioner to have to go through the exempt list every year and be like, you're qualified, you're not qualified. But I mean, I understand the rule and I'm okay with it. But the thing is, we've seen examples of it working. It was a perfect example was Jokic like rolled his ankle. And instead of him sitting out, because let's be honest, Jokic probably would have sat out. He was like, nah, I got to play because I got to reach this 65 game minimum threshold to get these end of the year honors. He came back sooner than I truly think he would have because he wants to meet those thresholds. He wants to be eligible for those awards.
Hey Jay, I got an idea of what you could do with Cade Cunningham. You tell him, you start him. You have your team win the jump ball. You call time, and then
intentional foul and bring him out.
Yep. You could, right? That's the way to combat it. He's still.
I guess that is a loophole, yeah. But what if it's a guy with like a broken ankle?
Hey, bro, just sit on the floor.
They're not gonna let you get. Like I think with Cade, kind of get away with it. Tell him to stand in the back corner on the jump ball. As soon as whoever wins, either if you win it, timeout. If they win it, intentional foul. Get Cade the hell out of there because he has a puncture luck. He don't need to run. Just walk on the court. Stand. I mean, yeah, that is a loophole. Unless, like I said, they have a lower injury like a broken leg or an ACL where they can't.
Or limit. A time limit. Oh, you got to play 5 minutes now. They might come up with that because of me. People like me.
I mean, then we'll find a way to make it. I mean, it's always going to be loopholes to the matter.
So that's what you could do, Jay. If I was the Pistons,
what you could do to combat that, like they say, he got to play 5 minutes. All right, bet. The end of each quarter, he's going to come in the last minute and a half, and he's going to stay in the corner. He's going to stay in the corner, and he's not going to do anything. We're going to play 4-on-5 and hope for the best.
Hey, knowing some jerk dude, there's some jerk dudes that try to intentionally foul him or something. You know,
I mean, that's a fine. You can't go over there and tackle him. That's a fine, bro.
There's some jerk dude that'll do some junk like that. Or try to attack him.
He'll get destroyed in the social media world. And he'll get fined. Like if he's standing in the corner, you go over there and tackle him or push him to the ground, that's a fine, and you probably won't get suspended. And everyone's going to kill you online for picking on the injured guy. So you can't do that.
Yeah, hey, Jay, we found a loophole, man. We should be GMs.
I mean, yes, okay. Like, listen, Kate, just stand back like you point guard. If we win the tip-off, we're going to take the ball, call a timeout, you come out. Or if they win it, we'll have somebody go intentionally foul. And then it's going to be some team that's expecting you to do it. Because after you do it once or twice, they'll be like, all right, we win the jump ball, we pushing immediately. If they do that, hey, listen, I'm starting you money. I'm starting one of my guys who plays low minutes. And if they try to push the tempo, your job is to immediately hard foul. Push one of them niggas to the ground. You hear me? Because that's what they're going to try to do. Like, oh, get the ball down court, let's get a bucket up. Because that's what they're going to try to do. Because, like, no. So, Joey, who plays 2 minutes a night, push his ass to the ground. They're going to get a technical, whatever, we don't care. Push his ass to the ground. Cade, come out. Joy, you come out. Then we'll run the game.
Hey, we don't care if you get a technical. We got somebody else to get one.
He's not going to play no more.
Hey, I think that's the way to combat it because you have because he deserves it. He has the Detroit Pistons as the #1 seed.
Correct.
That's
incredible.
They're
not a competitive team without him. That's the thing that sucks too. Because you think about it, he's going to be back. They said right around the time for the start of the playoffs. He's going to be rusty. His condition is going to be on shape, and there's a big chance he's on the minute restriction. And you can't have your star player on the minutes restriction in the playoffs.
Hey Jay, we hope Orlando, Miami got #8.
Bro, you know what's funny they have. It's gonna be the Pistons versus Miami. I mean, the Magic, and we're gonna slide into the second round. And then it's like our coaches, if he make the second round and he win the second round, he'll earn himself another year. You can't fire him when he make it past the second round.
Hey, he's still gonna get the extension because he made it to the second round. Oh, y'all, we beat the #1 seed.
Shoot, man. But yeah, so it's gonna be a dogfight round one because Cade trying to play himself back into shape, And Orlando's out there because we do have some dogs on the team. They out there like, bro, this is our chance to sneak into the second round. So whoever's playing the Pistons, y'all have a chance to sneak into the second round. And realistically, it's going to be us or y'all. It's going to be us or y'all playing them. So,
hey, whichever one of us isn't playing the Pistons, we got freaking the Celtics, and that ain't gonna be fun.
no, especially with Tatum getting his feet wet. Nah, that could be a sweep, sadly.
No, I don't think it's gonna be a sweep. We're gonna win one by luck.
Bam gonna drop 83 again, huh?
Bam gonna go nuclear and get like 40 and 20 or something, or Paulo is gonna have a crazy game, and then we're gonna be like, oh, okay, we might have a chance. It's 2-1, and then we get beat on the next 2 games.
But that's all I got, money. You got anything else?
Same here, man.
But all right, you guys. If you made this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, please like, please share, please subscribe. Leave a comment on anything you want us to talk about. We do these weekly. We look forward to them, especially with the NBA playoffs around the corner. And then we got March Madness currently going on, so we'll probably talk about that next week. But any topic you guys want to talk about, sports related, non-sports related, we'll love to talk about it. Share with a friend. We're trying to hit 100 before the end of the month, you guys. We're at 92. We need y'all help to do it. And
just 8.
A little spoiler. What did you say, buddy?
Just 8.
Just 8 away, y'all. We want to hit that before the end of the month, and we need y'all help. So please, please, please hit that sub button. It means the world to us. And spoiler, we're working on a new segment. It will be coming out next week. Y'all are really going to have to tell us if you like it or not. But that's all we have for this one. Until next week, I'm Jaysta HD, a.k.a. Two-Way with Jaysta.
I'm F Money, or Money for sure.
Until the next one, peace.
Take it easy, y'all.